Good morning, students. We are going to continue with chapter 3 of NCERT, that is human reproduction. Students, in this presentation, we are going to deal with spermatogenesis. This topic is very, very important from CBSE point of view. You can't afford to skip even the minute detail of this segment. So, watch the presentation very diligently. Let's begin. First of all, you can recall what is gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Tell me. Right, that is the process of formation of gametes. And in human, it's going to be divided into two parts, that is spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the process of formation of haploid sperms from the diploid spermatogonia. Spermatogonia, recall, is a mother cell, and oogenesis is the process of formation of haploid ovum or egg from diploid germ cells or mother cells. Okay, so in this presentation, we are going to focus only on the spermatogenesis. First of all, you should have clear cut understanding where this process is actually happening inside the testes. This is the segmental view of a testis. You can see inside the testes there are 250 compartment like structure. These are the testicular lobules. And inside these testicular lobules there are one, two, three in number seminiferous highly coiled structure, that is seminiferous tubules are there. So inside each testicular lobule, there are one to three highly coiled seminiferous tubules are there. And you can see over in this diagram, this is the cross section of seminiferous tubule, and this is one of the section of the seminiferous tubule. The irregular shaped cell are the Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells are going to provide all sort of nourishment to the development of sperm. So these Sertoli cells are actually the nerve cells. And inside the lining of the seminiferous tubule, you can locate the germ cells. Germ cells are the mother cells which are going to give rise to the spermatozoa or sperms. And how they are going to give rise? That at puberty they going to form their multiple copies, and after forming lots of multiple copies, they these multiple copies, each of them is going to form primary spermatocyte after absorbing lots of nutrient, forming internal structure. They are the quite differentiated form of the germinal cells. So they are demarcated from the germinal cells in terms of cytoplasmic content, in terms of chromosomal condensation. As they are going to divide by the process of meiosis, they have a condensed chromatin or the chromosomes. The chromosomal part is quite visible at primary spermatocyte stage, and these primary spermatocyte undergo meiotic division, first meiotic division leading to the formation of secondary spermatocytes, and after second meiotic division, these secondary spermatocytes, which are haploid, going to form spermatids. Spermatids are again the haploid one, and these spermatids ultimately going to convert into the spermatozoa. Spermatozoas are the sperm. Okay, so spermatozoa or sperm is the same term. So what is spermatogenesis? It is a process of formation of spermatozoa sperms from diploid spermatogonia. That is spermatogenesis. It comprises basically of four phases. That is multiplication phase, growth phase, maturation phase, or formation of spermatids, and differentiation phase. So these four phases are very very important and having relevance with the term of chromosomal number, along with the type of cells actually being formed. So you should have a great idea about each and every phase with the pictorial representation. So it's my idea to go with the pictorial presentation first, so you can understand whole of the process in a holistic manner. You can see over here spermatogonia. Spermatogonia is the mother cell which ultimately give rise to the spermatozoa or sperm. And these are red in color being presented over here, not the actual color is here. These are only for the pictorial representation. So colors are going to specify the type of cell. Red color cells are the spermatogonia. These are the diploid cells. And you can see they form their own multiple copies by the process of mitosis. One cell is going to divide into the two, and individual cell again going for the mitotic division, forming again two daughter cells. And these all are diploid one and are similar to the parent one. There is no quite demarcation or differentiation from the parent one. These are exact replica of the parent cell. But these cells later on going to be differentiation, going to through the process of differentiation or being differentiated from the parent one by absorbing or imbibing lot of nutrient material and having a full-fledged cellular organization for the meiotic division, as the chromosome number is quite visible at this stage. And these differentiated forms are the primary spermatocytes. You can see the sky blue color cells are the primary spermatocytes and they are ready for the meiotic division. First meiotic division is going to form secondary spermatocyte. These purple cells are the haploid one, as you have read that after meiotic one division we have haploid cells, and these haploid cells are the secondary spermatocyte. And after second meiotic division, the spermatids, the haploid spermatids are going to be formed, and these spermatids going to differentiate it to form spermatozoa. So there is a process of differentiation between spermatids and spermatozoa. You can see over here with the arrows is being presented, and these are again the haploid one. So the spermatogonia and primary spermatocytes are the diploid one, and the next series of the cells are the haploid one. So this sort of clear cut understanding about this process is very very essential. So I suggest you all, first of all, draw the pictorial representation and go with the stages later on. Phases of spermatogenesis. First phase is a multiplication phase. The male germ cells or the spermatogonia present on the inside wall of seminiferous tubule multiply by mitotic division and increases in number. We have seen the that one cell is going to divide to form two, and individual cell is going to divide again to form duplicate copies of the spermatogonia. And in growth phase, the spermatogonia grow in size by imbibing lot of nutrient material and form primary spermatocytes. And each spermatogonia is diploid and contain 46 chromosomes number. And similarly, the primary spermatocytes again is going to have the 46 chromosome number. Then maturation phase or formation of spermatids. Some of the spermatogonia called primary spermatocyte periodically undergo meiosis. As you can see, primary spermatocytes is the differentiated form of the spermatogonia, and they undergo for the division process by meiosis. The primary spermatocyte completes the first meiotic division, that is reduction division, leading to the formation of two equal haploid cells. There's equal cytoplasmic ratio between two of the cells called secondary spermatocytes, which have 23 chromosomes number, and the secondary spermatocytes undergo the second meiotic division and forms four haploid spermatids. And what is going to happen to these spermatids, because these are the circular bodies, and the sperm shape is quite motile and having tail quite distinguished from the circular cells. So how this is going to form, this we are going to talk about next, that is differentiation phase. The spermatids are transformed into the spermatozoa sperms by the process of spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis is actually the differentiation process where the spermatozoa, that is the round cells, are going to form into the sperm, and this is the spermiogenesis. There is no change into the chromosomal content, only the shape of the cells is going to be differentiated or going to be changed, and this process is referred as spermiogenesis. In most of the exam you have found that a question like this: what is the difference between spermatogenesis or spermiogenesis? Spermatogenesis, as I told you before, it is a process of formation of a sperm. However, the spermiogenesis refer to the transformation of spermatids into the spermatozoa or sperms, and one term, that is spermiation, is associated with whole of the process. After spermatogenesis, the sperm's head get attached to the Sertoli cells to draw all sort of nourishment, and finally being released into the seminiferous tubules by the process of spermiation, and they ultimately led into the vast difference, because this process is very very important. And after releasing of the sperm from the seminiferous tubules, they are going to travel whole of the journey through vast difference. Okay, now let's see the hormonal control of spermatogenesis. The whole process is directed by the brain, that is hypothalamus region, and this going to activate the anterior pituitary by releasing gonadotropin releasing hormone. Anterior pituitary in turn going to release two hormone, that is luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Luteinizing hormone are going to initiate Leydig cells. Leydig cells are the interstitial cells being present between the seminiferous tubules. Okay, so these interstitial cells going to release testosterone. Testosterone ultimately help in attaining puberty and reproductive maturity, and initiate whole of the reproductive tract and the secondary sexual character in male. And follicle stimulating hormone ultimately activates Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells are the nerve cells, and these cells ultimately going to initiate the process of spermatogenesis, that is the formation of sperm from the spermatogonia, and release inhibin as well. When there is lot of secretion of testosterone, this ultimately inhibit the hypothalamus as well, so there is negative feedback by the inhibin as well. So you should draw this diagram in your bio notebook for later understanding as well. Now we have to go through the text section as well. Spermatogenesis is initiated at the age of puberty by the gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH secreted by hypothalamus. The increased level of GnRH stimulate anterior pituitary, which then secrete the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone is going to stimulate Sertoli cell to secrete some factors which help in spermatogenesis. However, luteinizing hormone acts on the Leydig cell, alpha luteinizing hormone, alpha Leydig cell as well. So you can easily remember these terminology, and causes the secretion of androgen, that is testosterone, from the testes, which stimulate the process of spermatogenesis, which is very very important. And structure of sperm. This is very important topic. Sperm is a spermatozoa also, and comprises of four important parts, that is head, neck, middle piece and tail. All of the four parts are being enveloped by the plasma membrane. So let's see the diagram first. As you can see, this is the head region, and this is neck puffs region, and later on the middle piece, and finally the tail region is here. And in head region you have noticed this globular structure, that is acrosome, consisting lot of hydrolyzing enzyme. Why these enzymes are being presented at the tip? Because they are going to hydrolyze the wall or the structure outside to that of the ovum to have the deep penetration inside the egg. or ovum, and this region of the head is having the nucleus containing all of the chromosomal material necessary for the fertilization event. And neck region is very very important, having centriole. And recall from class 11 discussion, centriole is going to participate in divisional process. So these centrioles which are being present in the neck region have vital role in the division of zygote. Okay, so you can see over here the middle piece, and middle piece, amphor middle piece, and having lots of mitochondria. Mitochondria is ultimately going to provide lots of energy to the sperm for its motility, and tail is the portion of the sperm which actually mean for the motility, providing all sort of motility for the sperm. Now, let's see the section of this part, that is head region. It is enlarged and of the sperm containing large haploid nucleus, condensed chromatin material in the form of chromosome, and capped by acrosome. Acrosome, as I told you, contains lot of hydrolyzing enzyme and ultimately dissolve the membrane of the ovum for fertilization. And neck is the proximal, as having centriole, two centriole, one is the proximal one and the later one is the distal centriole. Proximal centriole, which is necessary for the first cleavage division of the zygote. Zygote is going to divide with the help of the centriole, and this centriole is being provided by the sperm, that is proximal centriole. However, the distal centriole is being connected with the tail filament only, so it doesn't play any vital role in the division of the zygote, but proximal centriole is going to play a vital role. And middle piece contains a lot of mitochondria providing all sort of energy for the movement of the tail or sperm altogether. Tail consists of eggshell filament surrounded by the plasma membrane. It helps the sperm to have the motility. Now, some of the important facts about the spermatogenesis is the male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms during a coitus. Coitus is the sexual intercourse. Seminal plasma along with the sperms constitute the semen. Seminal plasma is secreted by the associated glands, okay, along with the sperm constitute the semen. For normal fertility, at least 60% of the sperm must have normal shape and size. However, 40% of them must have rigorous motility to have the fertilization event. That's all for today. Thank you.